All right, today is day 38 on the Mountains to Sea Trail. I actually double checked that one this morning, so I think it's right. So apparently there's surf school going on out here by the Surf City Visitor Center. Pretty good waves breaking in this morning. So good times here. Got about 10 miles to do on the beach today. And right now, kind of cloudy, overcast, something of that nature. Got sun blocked up pretty good this morning, so hopefully I won't get cooked today. And just cruising along the beach here. Seems like the line to walk is right here at the top of the tide, or right here at the top of the waves where it's still wet but not loose. But sometimes you have to jump out of the way of a wave like I just did, so there you go. Alright, all kinds of interesting things along here. Sand castles. Looking out there. Oh, you might have seen it then. Definitely something out there with fins. I can't tell if it's a shark or a dolphin. I don't know if I've said this before, but I think I did. First go around at beach hiking, and definitely requires awareness, just a different type of awareness, because you're paying attention to waves and people, whereas maybe I was paying attention more to plants and animals out in the woods. So far not too bad on the hiking. I think the tide may be coming in, because occasionally I'm getting a wave that's coming in further than the ground that's already wet here. So anyways, cruising along. I think I'm making 2.5 miles per hour or something like that, so I'll be fine time-wise. And what I figured, and about to get into the thick of the people again here. It thins out every so often, and then it gets thick again. And I'm sure as the day progresses, it will only get busier. Alright, I'm here on another area of the beach where the crowd's quieted down just a little bit. Sun's came out a little bit. Winds started to blow a little bit. It's been pretty calm so far, and therefore hot. I'm sweating pretty good here, but cruising along and seeing the seabirds. Saw a crab earlier, probably homeless crab, because they're not normally out during the day. And definitely seeing the salt spray, getting a little bit, my eyes getting a little irritated, but not too bad. Alright, one more thought. The part of the beach I'm walking on, I think is the right part to walk on, at least for ease of progress. Saw a girl pushing a slushy cart earlier, or something of that nature, and she was walking the same line I was, so she's probably a pro at going up and down the beach. But it's like walking a trail cut out the side of a mountain where you're on an incline. You're on that incline the whole time. I got something like 80 miles of this in front of me. So I may have to go up on the flat part and walk some, or if I get ran off the beach by high tide, they be appreciative. I have to walk the road some on NC-12 on the Outer Banks. Alright, I'm almost to my turnoff. This part of the beach is almost more seashell than it is sand. Still people out here walking barefoot though, so it must not be too excruciating. Wind's gotten a little more constant, a little more comfortable, and I think my irritated eye has more to do with sunblock than with salt. Sorry. Alrighty, I have made it to the Stone Creek Gameland. As I was coming in, I saw a truck hauling some kind of probably chemicals. Hopefully they're not spraying a bunch of that today as I'm walking through. Just depending on what it is, I might care or might not. But it is hot. I don't know that my shirt displays how hot, but I mean, like, my skin, I've just been glistening all day. Maybe I do that every day, just don't notice it, but it has felt very hot today. Might catch a few clouds. Shoot, might even catch some rain before I'm done. Yeah, pretty wide open here. This is a beast of a hike, I guess. I mean, you kind of have to hit it just right if you want to get decent temperatures, but and not being here with the hunters, which I think this may be one of the game lands where you can't come in unless you have a permit to hunt. So, whatever. Long story short, if you're doing it in the summer like I am, it's just going to be toasty. So, beach hiking in some ways was easier than I expected. I thought I would have more trouble finding something to walk on than I did. Did not have much trouble with that. I think I was more or less at high tide by the end of it too, and I was running out of real estate there on the beach, especially there at the north end of the walk. Well, like maybe they had done a renourishment project there. There was a pretty steep drop off. It looked very unnatural, so I don't know. Anyways, had to dodge in between people and beach chairs and all kinds of stuff there at the end, but I made it. So Ocracoke is going to be interesting because there are a lot of people there at the one beach access at the southern end of the island, like the national park beach access right beside of the national park campground. And I know there's other beach accesses on Ocracoke, but really the only one that's used a lot is that southernmost one, and the rest of them are just like, I may go miles without seeing somebody on Ocracoke, which will be very different than this one. There are times, maybe I'd go a few hundred yards without seeing somebody, but for the most part, I was seeing people a lot. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll get a full picture. I was also thinking about how, I was like, okay, I got to the beach. Why do I need to hike so many miles along the beach? And I got to thinking about, in the mountains, I didn't really complain about spending, 300 miles or so hiking through the mountains and up and down the hills and everything. So, not going to get quite that much here on the beach, but I guess it's within reason. It's going to be pretty cool too. I think it'll be pretty relaxing. I think that's a red-tailed hawk flying away up there. Anyways. Alright, so yeah, maybe I'll get some clouds here. It is surprisingly wide open country here. They seem to be managing they said longleaf pine. That looks like longleaf to me. Longleaf pine, kind of savanna ecosystem here. I'm sure the deer will love it. Probably the bears and bobcats too. I don't know if there's as much wildlife out here as the old Holly Shelter Gameland. That place, I felt uncomfortable in there after I saw all the bobcat and bear tracks and everything. I was like, something here could come eat me, and nobody ever sees me again. Even though those critters are probably so wild, they see humans, they stay way away. Most of the humans they're used to seeing have high-powered rifles too, so that probably helps. Alright, so still in Stone Creek here, Gameland. I think this might be getting me ready for, oh gosh, for the new Seahawk. I think the new Seahawk, I'm going to have to be prepared to walk through stuff like that. So I've gotten away from the wide open spaces, which will not be wide open forever. The ranger that I spoke to told me that they are going to be managing that area for longleaf pine, which grows really slow, so probably got at least 10 years of looking about like it does right now. They were out spraying herbicide on the large field over here and trying to get down some of the shrubby, brushy stuff, control it for planting longleafs in it. So I probably got some of that on my legs because it definitely look like they're tractors. Not sure if that's the proper term. Those are really big tractors. Guess I could have videoed some, but anyways. Trail through Stone Creek Gameland, pretty well marked. Signage to let you know where to turn so far. Hope I don't jinx it like I do everything else. And honestly, trail in better shape than I expected. Looks like there's a good bit of mountain bike activity through here. I probably could have gotten my gravel bike through here, but I don't know. This looks like trail to me, so. Oh, I think it ran away already. Had a dog fly pitched on my sunglasses. Already sprayed myself down with DEET. Yeah, it's moderately effective. Usually keeps me from getting a lot of mosquito bites at least. That looks like a storm cloud. Hopefully I'll get picked up before that gets here, or maybe it'll blow just by. So yeah, more here than I expected. Trail-wise and signage-wise, and so far, pretty good hike. And if you ever see Forest Service personnel around, I would totally recommend you talk to them. That guy I spoke to, he had no idea that the Mountains to Sea Trail ran through here. So he had several questions for me about where I started and everything. And I don't know, would you drink water out of that? I might. The people up the hill weren't spraying herbicide. I'd strongly consider it. I mean, I don't know. It don't look that bad. Okay. So, yeah, here's definitely a place to be careful not to lose the trail. Wow. That's nice. I'm not sure what kind of bird that came off of. That was a pretty feather. Okay. Well, I see a white blaze. I'll go this way. Alright, cool. That is probably fire road for a controlled burn. So they can come through here and burn all this underbrush off. It won't bother the longleafs a bit. And that's how they manage the longleaf pine savanna. I found the dry lake. I mean, I don't know. Oh! Not every caption is appropriate. As I understand it, it probably was dry at one time. I think I saw that on Google somewhere too. Clearly, you can believe everything you see on the internet. I think I am approaching the end of today's adventure. All in all, the day has gone by quicker than I expected. Got rained on again today. I guess not significantly. I didn't even put on the poncho today. I put on the poncho a little bit yesterday. Probably didn't need to. Doesn't matter. I think when you put on the poncho, you sweat as much inside of it as the rain you would have gotten on you anyways. Yeah, so I'll walk myself on up here to my extraction point, which is on the highway, just a little bit south of the wastewater treatment plant. I think it's wastewater. Might be water. I think it's wastewater though. Stone Creek looked like it was flowing toward the wastewater treatment plant. For any of you that are interested in things like that, be another point in favor of drinking the water if I really had to, which I don't know why you would come to a point where you had to drink the water. But anyways, pretty nice area through here. Bugs were a little rough in the woods there for a go. Pretty nice, seemingly flat spots out along here. And yeah, got a couple of I guess goals for the beach hiking on the Outer Banks. I want to start while it's still dark and hike to sunrise, and I also want to hike into sunset, even though that won't be as dramatic probably. Let's see how I can figure out the logistics, that's the word. Figure out the logistics on doing those things. It'll probably work pretty well because honestly, Ocracoke I would rather split into two than do all in one shot, because in a lot of cases there's just nowhere to stop on the beach unless you've got your own seat with you, and I do not. That would be the thing I would say would be the hardest about the beach, is that there's just really nowhere to stop. And well, I mean, you can go inland and rinse off and everything, I guess, but in a traditional camping sense, it would be really hard for you to get, you know, rinsed off, cleaned up, drinking water. I mean, you can go in the ocean, but then you get salt on your skin, and generally speaking, I've felt like the times just from the salt in my sweat being on my skin, that seems like it's been a pretty good irritant. So I'm generally trying to stay out of the ocean water while hiking near the ocean. Not a pro, but it seems like a good idea. Clouds all around. Sprinkles here and there. And I'm going to bring day 38 to a close here in just a little bit. Oh, by the way, final verdict on biking this. I would say the first mile and the last half mile would be like pretty fair biking. As far as if you're trying to honor the Mountains to Sea trail, obviously I walked the whole thing. If you're trying to honor the Mountains to Sea trail, you can bike the roads. You need to hike the single track. Which, I mean, you could walk your bike through the single track. I would have walked my hybrid junk bike through the single track there. I wouldn't have tried to ride that, I don't believe. And then one of the roads you follow is pretty soft sand, so that would have been pretty hard biking. This would be a cinch right here, because this is gravelly and packed pretty well. So, there you go. Back into the pines, and I don't know, I think that might be Pocosin kind of stuff growing down there. Anyways, I'm almost to the highway, so bye.